ton of my clients are wasting money on products that make their hair worse. Here's the first one you want to avoid. One of my clients lives part-time down here in Florida and part-time up north. When she got back from one of her trips, she asked me what kind of frizz sprays I recommend to keep her hair smooth. I told her that she should use the exact same thing we use here at my salon, which is nothing. Nothing at all. We don't use frizz sprays. The way this works is smoothness is the opposite of frizz. If you look at this chart, your hair only goes in one direction. It only gets frizzier. It's just like milk. Milk starts fresh, and then over time, it starts to go bad, and there's nothing you can do that makes it go back to fresh. It's impossible. And hair is the exact same way. You cannot stop it from going towards frizz. You might think that hairspray or something else is like helping, but really it's just stiffening all that frizz, making it all gross-like, and making you have to wash your hair sooner. So instead of adding another product, we're just gonna take that hair as far away from frizz as possible, so it takes it much longer to get frizzy. It's basically the exact same thing as reaching for the milk way in the back with the latest expiration date. And the best way to do this, as I told my client, was to upgrade your blow dryer and use more tension when you're blow drying. Anyway, she leaves, she goes back up north, and literally like 2 days later, we get a text from her. She's all excited, saying how upgrading the blow dryer is a huge difference, and she barely had any frizz.
It probably also helped that she went up north, no?
It's a big deal. So remember, frizz is a styling problem. It's not a product problem. Adding more and more products is almost never the solution. So please, if you have extra money, keep it in your little Lululemon bag that everybody has these days, and avoid frizz sprays at all costs.
By the way, nobody wears their Lululemon bag that low. Your Lululemon bag does not go in your pocket. It goes across your chest, sir.
Not on my chest. Product 2. All right, so a few nights ago I was watching TV. That white collar show is actually really good. I don't care if you call me basic.
Give it a season or two.
Every single one gets better.
Actually, it does.
Every single one is better than the last.
Just like your videos.
Why is that so funny? Anyway, I was messaging back and forth with a viewer trying to help her figure out why her hair was always coming out so dry once he styled it. In the picture she said her hair almost looked like it was this straw texture because there was no moisture inside of it.
Did she use a Dyson?
No, that would do the same thing though. It turned out that she went to my recommended product list and accidentally got this quick blowout instead of big blowout, which is actually what I recommend.
So they're made by Redken, check. They're pink, check. And they have the word blowout on it, check. That could be confusing.
But you need to know that blow dry sprays give a very, very dry texture that wants to tangle and get frizzy really quick. Creams, like Big Blowout, moisturize the hair, give it this full, shiny shampoo commercial look. It's 10 times better than a blow dry spray. You'll have much better hair and can avoid blow dry sprays at all costs. Product 3. All right, so one of my favorite clients is really cool, but she's a little bit on the quirky side. Every time she comes in, she does something that most stylists absolutely hate, which is she brings in her own products. These products are the worst of the worst, and they get terrible results. It's like going into a surgeon for surgery and then insisting that he uses a floss stick. It just doesn't work.
Unless he's a dentist.
And these products are natural products. They're made from plants and stuff like that to try and make them environmentally friendly, but they really aren't. And they aren't hair friendly either. The natural products left her hair stiff and brittle. And if you look at her hair from the back, you can see like a bunch of it's only half as long as the rest of it because it's just completely broken off. And every time she comes in the salon, she's like, how do I get rid of this dryness? How do I make my hair soft? And I'm just like, you can't do that with natural products. They don't work that way. We actually started recording a video where...
A very traumatic video.
Very traumatic for Leslie because we were only allowed to use all natural products on Leslie's hair for 30 days.
It was miserable.
The worst.
Oh my God.
Basically, we didn't even make it 2 weeks into the whole thing because the products were so bad, they were ruining Leslie's hair and it wasn't worth losing all her hair.
So I'm gonna go in and we're gonna really test it. Oh my God.
The crazy thing is, this client only uses these products because she read something about them that they were bad for your hair in some magazine. which you can tell is a lie just by trying a couple natural products.
Oh my God.
It's kind of like when the internet was new, every newspaper article was about don't meet people from the internet. They might be a kidnapper. It's very dangerous to meet internet people. And so our entire childhoods, we grew up like being afraid of the internet, but now we use the internet to get into cars with strangers and everything's totally fine. So if you've ever tried an all-natural product and you're like, why isn't this working? I must be doing something wrong. It's not you. Avoid natural products at all costs. Product number 4. All right, have you ever seen a picture like this? And you're like, oh my gosh, that looks absolutely amazing. I need to learn how to do that right now because that would be awesome for when my hair gets messy on like day 3 or 4.
Is it because it makes you think of like the beach and vacation and you're like, take me there?
It's like, if I do my hair like this, is everything else like that? You'll find a ton of tutorials on social media like this, and most of the time they're going to use a texture spray as a big part of the strategy for getting that look. But before you go out and get yourself a texture spray, let me tell you a couple things. The girl in that picture always has perfect skin. She looks like a professional fitness model. She's in these super trendy outfits and the lighting, the camera angles are always perfect. That is not real life. That's called winning the genetic lottery. And it's the same as going up to somebody who won the lottery and being like, hey, what advice do you have for me so that I can win the lottery?
Well, you gotta play it for 25 years, son.
Yeah, you gotta lose 2 million to make one.
One of these days you'll win.
Now, if you were born like that, feel free. Use all the texture spray you want, or mayonnaise or motor oil. It really doesn't matter what you use because whatever you do, it's gonna look amazing no matter what with those genetics. But if you, like me, are just a normal human being, stay away from texture sprays. They make your hair dirty, gross, sticky, and messy. If you don't believe me, feel free to give it a shot. It's actually kind of funny how bad it makes your hair look. Just remember to send me a picture so I can use it the next time I'm trying to warn people to avoid texture sprays at all costs. You're supposed to jump in here with me.
Oh, you want me to say at all costs? With you?
Who are you texting right now? Product number 5. So a few months ago, 2 of the best kept secrets in hair, Pulprite Boston and Singapore, got discontinued. If you miss them as much as I do, go ahead and leave a comment. Anyway, when that happened, I had to find a new shampoo and conditioner to take their place on my recommended product list, which is actually a really big deal because I don't do that very often.
That was like the only time.
Pretty much. And do you know the best way I found to test shampoos and conditioners like this? It's going door to door in my neighborhood and asking neighbors how they like it.
But Chris, you have a salon full of clients. Why would you do that?
Because it needs to work in a home setting. We know we can make it work in a salon. Need to know if it works at home.
It's very smart alecky of this.
So I had them use one shampoo and conditioner on one side and then another shampoo and conditioner on the other side so I could see which one was better side by side. The only problem was one of my neighbors absolutely loves Amika and she was like, let me try it against Amika. Let me just do that. I really didn't want her to because I had already tested the Amika, but she was helping me out. So I'm like, okay, sure, go for it. I give her the shampoo to test. And then I leave. So next day I see her and she's like, I told you, look how shiny the Amika side is. Look how much better. You can see the difference, right? And I was like, yeah, the Amika side is shinier, but let's take a look at it tomorrow and see how it holds up. Because I could already see it was getting that like wax museum type look where it won't move at all. So I come back the next day and the 2 sides are like 2 totally different versions of hair. The Amika side is like stringy. It's literally like sticking together. It's completely disgusting with waxy buildup, which always for some reason happens with Amika. But now she uses totally different shampoos from my recommended product list. And if she was standing here right now, she would warn you to avoid Amika conditioners at all costs.
At all costs.
By the way, if you think this might be you and you're looking for new awesome products, you can check out my recommended product list. It has a hair type quiz and walks you through everything. You can find it in the description. Product number 6. All right, so one of my clients has a very nice husband. He's a true gentleman. He goes to Costco and does her shopping while she gets her hair done here. But understandably, this poor guy doesn't know that much about his wife's hair. And one time for Christmas a few years ago, he went to Sephora where they were pumping this huge Olaplex sale. And this girl who worked there convinced him to buy this big, expensive bundle of Olaplex that they had available. I just picture him going in there and this lady's like,
Why won't you buy this for her? Don't you want her to have beautiful hair?
you do want your wife to have nice hair, don't you? And he's just looking around like, anyway, my client comes in, tells me that story, and she's like, I've been using the entire Olaplex line. It's got like 9 products and 20 different sets of directions, but she wasn't sure if it was actually working. Her hair had like this weird feeling and texture to it. She's like, Is this a good thing? Is this a bad thing? Because I don't know. And I'm really glad that she came to me because those Olaplex bundles are some of the biggest wastes of money in all of hair care. The repair, shampoo, and conditioner just make your hair worse. Most of these don't even do anything in the first place. And this is the only product you actually need if you wanted to repair your hair. So that's all he actually needed to buy to get her the results. So number one, men should not be shopping for hair products for their wives. Gift cards are totally fine. Overly complicated routines with tons of products never give good results. I wish so bad I was there so I could have warned them to avoid huge Olaplex bundles at all costs. Product number 7. All right, so here's a rule that I want you to live by. Anytime the words hair growth are on a hair product, I want your antennas, or antennae, if we're doing the plural thing these days, to go straight up that it's a scam. 99% of hair growth products are a complete and total scam, like one of these products that my client brought in the other day. She was tired of having short hair, so for her appointment, she brought in this Redken Extreme Length shampoo that she bought to get more length. She says how she's really excited to get longer hair and how she's so glad products like this exist. But in my head, I'm like, it's a scam, dude. And I'm just like nodding my head, trying to find like an opening where I can like get in there and tell her without totally ruining your day. As she was coming back from the shampoo stations to the chairs here, I was just about to tell her, but I didn't have the heart. I didn't want to make her all sad. But if I did say something, it would have been, hey, so how exactly does that hair growth shampoo work? And she would have looked at the label and she would have been like, oh, it looks like it prevents breakage, which hopefully results in longer hair. And she'd be like, hey, wait a minute, that doesn't actually speed anything up. And I'd be like, it sure doesn't, but let's take a look at how it prevents that breakage just in case. And she'd say, oh, it has biotin to help my hair grow longer and stronger. And I would have been like, don't vitamins need to be inside your body to work? Like, should I be smearing emergency on my runny nose when I get sick instead of drinking it? Should we rub caffeine on our faces in the morning to get us alert?
Maybe.
No, it's all scams. Hair growth oil, hair growth shampoos, all of it, all the way down. Avoid them at all costs.
But what about serums?
Scam. Product number 8. A ton of my clients don't realize the harm that heavy products do to their hair because most of the time they can't even tell that they're using a heavy product. Quick story on that. A few years ago, I had a stylist take out this Amika Dream routine because it had just come out and we always try out every new product, especially if they're hot. The hype with this product is that you're supposed to put it in your hair at night before you go to sleep. Sleep with it in your hair, and in the morning, when you wake up, you're gonna have this amazing, fully hydrated hair. So, stylist takes it home, does that. The next morning, she comes in, I'm opening up the salon, and the stylist comes straight through the door, right over to me, and points like this.
She was bald?
No. Her hair looked like it was wet, but it wasn't wet. It just had this, and it was so heavy in her hair that the whole thing was like doing the goop-de-goop. If you don't know what the goop-de-goop is, it looks like this. It's like lifeless and heavy and wet. Instead, what you really want is like light and bouncy hair. Trust me, you do not need to live a life of goopy hair. Avoid heavy products at all costs.
That was our best one.
Product number 9. All right, so the best way to have healthier hair is by using a minimal product routine. If you're new here, my whole thing is that you need to use less products to get healthier hair. The best way to do that is to use my Trinity routine, which is just shampoo and conditioner, and then a leave-in conditioner and a hair oil. Those 3 things will give you the healthiest hair of your life. Anyway, there's one critical mistake that people are making here, and it's they ignore my recommended product list and use a leave-in conditioner cream. And these creams are super heavy. They are the opposite of a minimal hair routine, and they'll screw the whole thing up for you.
Screw the pooch?
Pooch screwing.
I don't know what that means.
So instead of a cream, make sure you are using a spray. This is the best one here, super light. You'll never know that it's even in your hair. This is a huge unlock. If you've never used leave-in conditioner before, you're gonna go crazy. And just something you should know, that when something says it's a leave-in, it doesn't necessarily mean it's a leave-in conditioner. There are leave-in styling treatments, there are leave-in repair products, leave-in masks. Masks. Those things are not leave-in conditioners, so please say it with me, avoid them at all costs. Product 10. All right, I ran into somebody at an event who tried professional shampoos one time and one time only, and they were like, I just wasn't impressed. They just made my hair feel drier. And I'm just like, you just walked into my shop. Come with me, we're gonna have a quick intervention. So I asked her like, hey, are you using it everywhere? Just like you use your drugstore shampoos? And she's like, yes, exactly the same. And the results aren't as good. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, cool. What was the main difference you saw? She goes, well, my mids and ends got like this weird dry feeling, and that's just not really what I'm going for, so it doesn't work for me. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, shampoo is actually built to remove oil from your hair, right? She's like, yeah, that's the point. I'm like, okay, so when you put it on your mids and ends, they got dry because you're not actually supposed to put shampoo on them because they'll dry them out and remove the oil. So knowing that, what does it say about your drugstore brand? That it never dried out your mids and ends. That it doesn't remove any oil. It doesn't remove the oil. Your Target brands of Pantenes and L'Oreal's, those coat your hair. They don't actually cleanse your hair. Whether you know it or not, you're living in one of two worlds of hair. Over here, you're the goop-de-goop land where your hair is always dull and gross and coated in goop. Or you can do hair the modern way, which is fresh, bouncy, stays clean for days, so you can go longer between washes and have much healthier hair. Teaching you the modern way is what my channel is all about, so please avoid drugstore shampoos at all costs. If you need help finding replacements for any of these despicable products, check out my recommended product list. It even has a hair type quiz to help you make good choices. Get that healthy hair and have a good one.